Karl Anthony Towns gets traded. We give our MVP favorites and King Henry. Let's get it.
Yeah, pass me the rock so I can shoot this three. But I look over on the wing and I see EB. She be the bully in the paint, hanging with them trees. And D cutting to the rim, Mr. Three-Man weave. Yeah, they talk a lot of smack, but they don't get no tease. There's not a topic off limits, there ain't no referees. It don't matter the sport, it don't matter the court, it don't matter the field. Things are gonna get real. They gon' hit it off the tee, straight from hole 18. It could be a par 5, still gon' land on green. Got a mean slap shot to make a goalie freeze. Coming like the avalanche from the 303. Time to lace up the cleats so you won't get beat. I just told the quarterback that it's time to go deep. We got EB, CB, DaBully and D. Get your popcorn ready, cause it's the three-man weave. Yo, hey, it's the three-man weave. Get your popcorn ready, cause it's the three-man weave. Yo, hey, the three-man weave.
Well, man, let's start with Sunday Night Football. Undefeated no more. 35-10, Ravens beat the Bills and did it early, starting with an 87-yard Derrick Henry run for a touchdown. First play for the Ravens.
Biggest run in Ravens history.
That's crazy if you think about it.
It is nuts.
Steve Smith and other guys that have been on that team. The Ravens looked great. They beat the hell out of Dallas last week after losing their first two games, starting 0-2. And this is kind of the game that the Ravens want to play. Lamar only threw the ball 18 times. Henry ran 24 times for 199 yards. Josh Allen, not an efficient night at all. 16 for 29, threw for 180, no touchdowns.
That's what I said, man. Baltimore, if there's going to be a team to beat KC, might have to be Baltimore.
That's all I really wanted to say about the game. I was going to let you go ahead and get into your fantasy day since Derrick Henry just happens to be on your team.
Yeah, King Henry, man, went off for me. I think with him playing like that, I'm the leader in points in fantasy today, which is a beautiful thing if you ask me. But there was no stopping the 6'2", 250-pounder today. He gave me 35 points, 199 yards rushing, 3 for 3 for receptions, 2 touchdowns.
Caught one and ran for one. Can't stop him. He looks better than he did with the Titans. Shit. And with all the weapons they got around, Isaiah Likely looked really good. Big boy, their 300-pound fullback got a touchdown on that Derrick Henry fumble. They've been caught some big catches.
Yeah, and all that frees up space for Lamar to run if he wants.
Exactly, and he ran for 54 yards, had a touchdown after throwing for 2 as well. So,
and I was up against Lamar Jackson.
Oh, nice. Here, Coach Harbaugh after the game talking about the entire team. They got it done in all facets. Defensively, they got to Josh Allen, running the ball, throwing the ball. They controlled the entire game from the beginning of the game. And this is 4 games into having Derrick Henry. So if they're looking like this through 4, they have to be very optimistic about what's to come. And your fantasy team has to be pretty optimistic as well.
Absolutely, man. Puts me 2-2. 500 again.
Starting Baker Mayfield a good call this week?
Boy gave me 28 points, bro. Sorry, Trevor Lawrence, but looks like you'll be riding that bench until somebody has a bye week.
Yeah, Jacksonville sucks.
Yeah. But yeah, Mayfield ran for a touchdown too.
Oh, very nice.
Can't be mad at that, man.
What's the score of your game right now, your fantasy game?
The score right now is 184-102. I'm smoking this cat. Just another football show is who I'm playing right now. So for them to be a football show and for me to smack them like I did feels pretty good.
Yeah, they should probably change the name because they've been smacked by a couple of teams, mine included.
Yeah, they're projected like the worst.
With mine right now, I am currently winning 120.52 to 116.5 over Striving and Surviving, my man Isaac. I have 3 players because I got a lineup of Lions. I got Gibbs, Jameson Williams, and Sam Laporta yet to play tomorrow, and I'm already up 4. He does have Tyreek Hill, so I'm going to have to deal with that. But that's really whatever. I got 3 players to his 1, and with no Tua, I don't expect a lot out of Tyreek. I was projected to win before Thursday night's game, and then it looked kind of iffy. He had a decent game out of Dak. Malik Neighbors, the rookie wide receiver, came out and gave him 23. Like I said, I'm looking good now. I had no Devontae this week. Puka Nacua is going to be out even longer than expected now.
Having Justin Jefferson definitely helps that.
Who has Justin Jefferson?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at Mac Truck's squad on that.
That would absolutely help that. You're right. But that's not how it's working out for me. But I had a good feeling about taking Jaden Daniels during the draft, grabbing a rookie quarterback, and so far, it's been paying off. He had a great game today. They smacked the hell out of the Cardinals, 42-14 in Arizona. I also have Brian Robinson on that team, who came in and gave me 20 plus. Kamara did Kamara things, got me about 25.
Doing Kamara things.
Doing it, man. Between him and Henry, it's feeling like 10 years ago almost, or 7 years ago. But he got me 100 yards. Oh, no, that was Brian Robinson. Got me 100 yards and a touchdown. Kamara got me 25, like I said. Jordan Love returned, and I picked him up a couple weeks ago. He came back from Green Bay. But my whole thought process when I picked him up was to sit him the first week he comes back and kind of hold off until I think Patrick Mahomes has his first bye week. Patrick Mahomes still hasn't done shit for me. I've had Jaden Daniels outperforming him by leaps and bounds. And Jordan Love
threw a bomb, too. He threw a bomb today, too. Yeah.
And Jordan Love came out. He wore a Brett Favre jersey to the game and had a Brett Favre type of game. Threw it 52 times, 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. And I sat him this week just to let him get his feedback in. But they threw the hell out of the ball. Almost completed that comeback against the Vikings.
Yeah.
But it was good to see him back and just throwing the ball. He got 31, so he was right behind your Derrick Henry score. They end up losing to the Vikings though. 3 interceptions. That's just not going to do it. But without those picks, imagine what his score would have been. So I'm excited to get him in the lineup. It's just going to be weird because I have Jaden Daniels, and right now he's looking like a guaranteed start. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes, on the other hand,
yeah,
not as much.
At least 20 out of your quarterback for sure.
Right. And at least, 18, 19. He got me like 14. He's got me 12 a couple games. But we both had big kicker games. I got 13 out of Evan McPherson.
Way cool, baby. My bad.
Coolest name in the game. Got you 20.
With the game-winning field goal for the longest field goal of his career.
He got the game ball for that one.
59 yards. Good shit. Young Way cool.
Is there anybody on your team that you wish you wouldn't have started?
Yeah, let's get into that. That I wish I wouldn't have started this week. I think this is we'll see with Hopkins. He hasn't played yet. He hasn't done too much. Last week was his best week, so I kept him in there. I think he's just going to get better. He's only projected to give me 8, but it really depends on what he does this week.
So no, not right now.
No, not right now. I didn't start Sutton, and he had his best game of the season with finally a touchdown. Gave me 15 points.
How about that game? Broncos beat the Jets 10-9.
Yeah, I'm saving that for my L.
Yeah, fair enough. I started Roma Dunze. He only got me 2 points for the Bears, but with my wide receiver injuries, I didn't really have much of a choice. So other than that, yeah. I'm good. We both have matchups with the Match My Energy pod coming up. You got Dennis next week. I have JC. Neither one of those guys are admittedly into football that much, but they've been winning. So we'll see.
They've been winning. Yeah, that's a must-win game for me, I think. Hopefully AJ Brown's back in my lineup. I think that'll just set me up for greatness. DeAndre Swift, he hasn't had a great season, but today he put up like 26 points. So I traded Sutton for him, so he'll be back in the rotation here soon. I just think after week 4 is when people start clicking, really got their feet back under them and shit like that.
We didn't touch on D's team a lot, but D's got a lot of studs that just showed up. CJ Stroud had a great week. Joe Burrow Jonathan Taylor, who went down with an ankle injury, also had a good game. Then he had T. Higgins and Travis Kelce both woke up, and that's going to be big for the Chiefs going forward with Rashee Rice going down with a possible ACL tear. They'll find out after an MRI on Monday, but that could be it for the year for the young second year wide receiver.
Yeah, that looked all bad. Dude. They were playing defense and Mahomes rolled into him. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was pretty terrible. But yeah, Stroud to what's his name? Agubawale.
I'll accept that.
Game-winning touchdown. And he's not even one of their starting receivers. I thought that was pretty dope too.
Another quick thing to touch on is the Colts game. Colts pick up a win. Anthony Richardson goes down like he did last year. And here comes Joe Flacco coming in and winning like Joe Flacco does. Joe Flacco does things, you know?
Hell yeah. I was never mad at Joe Flacco, man.
Oh, no. Always solid. That's all I got for NFL. You got anything else you wanted to touch on football-wise today?
Oh yeah, man. With the Steelers, Colts, after the Steelers starting 3-0, I don't think we're seeing Russell Wilson start. I think Fields is going to be their quarterback going forward. I just thought that was important to note.
That's what they've been saying since I guess this weekend mostly, but that's been the feeling going forward. Is right now it's Justin Fields' job. You really can't do it after like you said, going 3-0. But again, that's
even down today, man. Watching them run through defenders for first downs. It's got some heart. I don't even think I see Russell Wilson doing shit like that for real.
We'll never know. That's what we expected more out of him after his couple of years in Denver, but he may not get that chance. At least in Pittsburgh, there's a couple of teams. I mean, you look down in Miami. Their backup playing in place of Tua isn't working right now. There's a couple other guys still out there. Ryan Tannehill's still available. Some guys like that could still come in and play some quarterback. Jameis Winston's playing a backup role right now.
Right.
Came in and showed it again. Backups can get the job done. So we'll have to see what happens with some of these quarterbacks going forward before the trade deadline, at least.
Absolutely. It was cool to see Flacco out there, though.
Speaking of trades, Karl Anthony Towns traded from Minnesota. And I just want to be the first to say, I called this shit. I've been saying it for months that for the Minnesota Timberwolves to get over the hump, Karl Anthony Towns ain't it. Now, with that said, I'm not necessarily sure that the answer is Julius Randle. But with him coming back from injury and now being traded on top of it and seeing what the Knicks did without him, he can come back. Hopefully he comes back with something to prove. We see something new out of Randle. He's got to get down on defense. You see how even all the way up to Anthony Edwards, they all play D. Say what you want about Rudy Gobert. I'll say what I want about him, I guess. Defensive Player of the Year 4 times. So he's going to have to come in, play some defense. And the Minnesota Timberwolves also get an apparently unhappy Dante DiVincenzo, who reportedly is unhappy with his role since picking up Mikal Bridges. And I know a lot of people thought that with these Nova guys all coming together and that built-in chemistry that they already had, that this would be seamless and all of that would go before their egos. But on the other side of things, you got to think the way, especially guys like Josh Hart and DiVincenzo played last year with Randle down and the huge role they played in that playoff run, to just have another guy come in that, sure, he averaged almost 20 a game, but they didn't make the fucking playoffs in Brooklyn. To take over your minutes and take your role, I can understand how you feel some type of way about that.
Most definitely, man. You would have thought that he built something and that he found some more trust from the organization the way he played. I do think Minnesota took a step back. I guess only time will see. I don't know if maybe the paint was too flooded or maybe they were sick of Cat shooting too much. But he was a hustler. He was good on the rebounding end. He could score.
That's why I think if anybody, Minnesota won the trade because you're getting basically the same production out of Julius Randle, if not more than you're getting from Karl Anthony Towns. When healthy just a couple of years ago, Julius Randle was getting like 25 and 12. You know what I mean? So like he'll get his boards, and that's what I'm saying. If he plays a little more defense, and he'll get to the paint more than Cat. That was the whole thing last year. Get in the paint. You're taller. You're bigger than everybody. Get down there, do your thing. Julius Randle will get down there and he'll play you in the paint. and he can also step out and take those shots. It'll just see if he takes another step defensively. But I think, and then adding DiVincenzo on top of that with the young guy they drafted out of Kentucky, Dillingham. You still got Mike Conley, Anthony Edwards, and having that rotation with Dante that can play on or off the ball, plays and hits open shots. I think they got a little better.
Dante's going to have a big role with this team. I think he'll like that. But we'll see, man. Only time will tell. I don't know what the fucking Knicks are going to look like.
Yeah. Offensively, I guess it's good. You give an outlet to Jalen Brunson, somebody else that can go get their own bucket. So I guess that kind of works out.
And, I mean, we did like to see Jalen, and we know Jalen likes to go in the paint. So maybe that frees up space for them, too, because Cat does like to shoot that thing. I think there will be some drawn-up plays like that for sure.
Yeah, they'll be interesting to watch. Like I said, I think Minnesota won the trade. I'm not big on Karl Anthony Towns, but if he can, again, he'll have to take a step defensively too. But
he really does.
Big time.
He really does.
So if he can do that with all those guys around him, with adding Mikal Bridges, who can also get his own shot and shoot from the outside, and then having Jalen Brunson, who could be in the running for MVP, the Knicks could at least get to where they were last year.
For sure. Hell yeah.
For Robinson, I think he's out till like December or something like that. I just saw.
Man, when they get him back too. Oh shit. I do think New Yorkers are gonna eat Cat alive.
Yeah.
First time he goes on Jalen and Josh's podcast type shit.
Think about that.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. He's gonna try. You know how he like switches up his tone, and he said, "I do that. I do shit like that." We're gonna see a lot of that out of New York Cat.
Now he might get too comfortable with the roommates, and we might see that what they.
I really did.
With the NBA season approaching, the MVP favorite betting odds are out. I was going to run down just the top 5 for you, and then I was going to see who and why you think will be in the running for MVP. We'll go through like 3 of them. Whether these guys are in the top 5 or somebody from the outside that you think may be able to come in. But right now, Luka is the odds-on favorite. He's at plus 370 to win MVP. Behind him is last year's MVP, Nikola Jokic at plus 425. Third is the runner-up from last year, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander at plus 500. Embiid, 2 years ago MVP, plus 725. And then Giannis rounding out the top 5 at plus 1,000. So give me your first guy you think as an MVP favorite and why.
Devin Booker.
Okay.
He's a dog. He gets better every year. He knows his role. KD's giving him the keys to the team. Not like, like he had the keys to give to him anyway, but
Booker had the keys.
Yeah, Booker had the keys, but, to have a Hall of Famer believe in him the way that he does and be on the same team as him sets him up for greatness. And even the way he carried himself during the Olympics, I think he's got a chip on his shoulder and he's ready to step it up to a whole different level, MVP level.
I'm glad you brought up the Olympics because I think that'll be big. If Devin Booker takes a step as a leader, then I can see him being in an MVP conversation. But, the way they operated last year did not work. Hopefully adding Tyus Jones, the guy that I talked about also long ago, coming to Phoenix and playing with those guys and kind of point guard and setting everybody up should be big for him and KD. But if Devin Booker, if you can see that leadership role in him this season, I think that'll be big and he could easily sneak in MVP, depending on what Phoenix.
They gotta bring some kind of form of fun to the organization. I think Kevin Durant plays better when it's fun. I think even if Devin kind of intensified, he might, be better too. Just have some fun out there, like Kevin Durant with the Warriors type shit.
Looks from the school of Mamba though. Is he gonna?
True.
You know what I mean? He's one of those Mamba mentality guys.
That's true, but I think loosening up with some good chemistry might help these boys out.
That's cool. My first MVP starts with a huge if, maybe a couple ifs, because it's Joel Embiid. If, there it is, he's able to get to that 65 game threshold that you need to be able to qualify for these awards, I think he's got it on lock. If there's another one, PG is also able to stay healthy and be a huge piece that you add to what Joel Embiid did last year in those limited games, and to Tyrese Maxey, who is only going to get better. Paul George is the perfect guy to slot in and take some of the pressure off. And Joel Embiid can have a bigger year than the 35, 11, and 6 he averaged through 39 games last year. It was on pace to be better than his MVP season from 2 years ago. So you add in a guy like Paul George, and all three of the guys I have on my list is all because of what they've added to him. Each guy on this list, their front office could easily be in the running for Executive of the Year as well. And that first one, bringing in Paul George, which you got to think will lessen the load on Joel Embiid's body as well and help him get to that 65 games. If he gets to play easier basketball, same with Paul George and Tyrese Maxey, who's stopping Joel Embiid?
That's a fact. He's as big as Jokic. You know what I'm saying? He makes AD look smaller. But yeah, another person on my list, AE. I think he's definitely going to have more of a role. Now that Cat's gone, he might have the ball more. If he's floating around that first or second in the West, he's got a good chance at winning it.
I just want to let you know also, who you say first, Devin Booker is 16th in the odds to win MVP, and then Anthony Edwards is 6th.
Wow. Legit.
My number 2, and mine are actually in order. It's like, if Joel Embiid's healthy, MVP hands down. 2, if not, I think it'll be Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Finished second last year, and then Oklahoma City also brought in some pieces. You look at Hartenstein and Caruso. You're adding 3-point shooting, defense, offensive rebounding, and playmaking from both positions. Also makes it easier on Shai. And Shai played 75 games last year. And the only if with him is if he plays, he's giving you 30. So you get a cool 30, and he averaged basically 6 and 6 last year too. You can see assists go up. He might get involved in the rebound more, have the ball in his hands more because they got Josh Giddey out of the way. So we'll see more playmaking from Shai, more buckets from Shai, and they'll finish 1-2, maybe probably in the West again. So I think Shai, barring a healthy Joel Embiid, will be the MVP.
Very nice. I can see that. He's always around the top 5 lately. But I like Jalen Brunson. I feel like if he can make this team follow him and play to his standards, he could definitely walk away with one. They could end up first or second in the East. A lot of ifs, but it'd be cool. I got a long list of people I'd like to win, like DeMar DeRozan. If he did something with the Kings, that'd be fucking dope as hell.
Brunson's another one of those guys. You look at the pieces that the Knicks brought in. Sure, you lose Julius Randle and DiVincenzo, but you add Mikal Bridges and now Karl Anthony Towns.
Yeah, this is all for Jalen.
If those pieces are able to fit in next to him, then there's no way, there's no question that he could definitely be an MVP, if not at least in the top 3, top 5. He's actually, he's 7th right now in the odds. And then I got the odds-on favorite is my third is Luka. And then you bring in Klay Thompson, Najee Marshall, Grimes, Quentin Grimes.
Lively second year.
Lively will only get better, exactly. Klay Thompson will get the easiest shots of his career. He doesn't have to run off all these screens to do it. He just stand there, catch the ball, shoot the ball, catch high, keep high, shoot high.
You just got to worry about Kyrie in the air passes.
Yeah,
those.
We've seen positions that Klay Thompson has caught the ball out of and still shot it and still nailed jumpers like no problem. And Najee Marshall's an underrated pickup. Quentin Grimes the same way. Kyrie's still there. They brought back Spencer Dinwiddie, another guy that can handle the ball, and
Daniel.
Those guys. But all of that gives Luka a pretty solid case for MVP. I think if they were top 3, maybe even top 4, and just got home court advantage last year in the playoffs, then Luka would be the reigning MVP right now. But the fight they had to do to stay out of that 6, 7, 8 spot late in the season and got up to 5th is the reason he didn't win the MVP, and Joker got his 3rd. But if they were second, third, even fourth in the West, that could easily have been Luka's last year. So,
yeah, I like to see Anthony Davis, of course, since Bron's fucking 40. I like to.
He's at 17. He's behind Booker.
I like to see Ja come back and get something like that.
Out of Ja, yeah, he's at 10. Bron is 19th.
Hell yeah! And if the Celtics got to get one, I like to see JB get one so Tatum don't.
Tatum is 9. Jaylen Brown is 20th.
That's a weird list, but
Kawhi is at 18.
See, Kawhi should be top 10, man, especially this year.
He's not gonna play enough. Halliburton's also on the list. Wemby is in the top 10. Who else? Did I name everybody? That's everybody. Donovan Mitchell on the list at 13. KD's up there. Steph's up there. That's the top 20s, those guys.
Word. Where was Braun?
19.
It's disrespectful. He better not see this list. He might just get that bitch.
He shouldn't be on the list. You know what I mean? Like, but
just like he shouldn't be in the Olympics in 4 years.
He won't be that, but I could see him being in the MVP running. It's more likely he's in the MVP running this year than in the Olympics in 4 years.
Absolutely.
That's not much of a stretch, but like,
right.
So Bron's not going to be in the league by then. He's going to be either owning the team or on the sidelines just coaching his daughter or something. You know what I mean?
Or all that.
Get on to Vince Carter.
Shout out VC. Arguably the best dunker in basketball history, NBA history. You knew it was coming when you saw the Raptor doing the between the legs in their new jersey. They're finally retiring his jersey after the Nets did. But legit, what do you think?
So they'll actually retire his jersey before the Nets will.
Okay, that was probably something they worked out.
Even though the Nets announced it first, those will be later in the year. Like I think the first week or so of the season, the Raptors will retire his jersey. But the Raptors should have announced it first. They should have. The second Vince Carter signed his retirement papers, Toronto should have retired his jersey right then, right there. There shouldn't have been any waiting.
Yes.
Toronto should have been on it first. That being said, though, they will retire it first. And he'll be the first one hung up in Toronto in Scotiabank Arena.
Ever, yep.
So, I mean, yeah, shout out VC. Well deserved.
Shout out VC. And he should get between the legs statue as big as the MJ logo one in front of the Chicago Stadium. That's how big it should be in Toronto. Sorry.
No, it shouldn't.
Y'all gotta do it. Make it that fucking big. Fuck it. But
well, I got that ring. That's not gonna happen.
T-Mac got drafted first. I always thought was surprising. I thought Vince Carter was a little older, but I guess not.
Vince Carter went to college.
Right, but it was just surprising how T-Mac was the one that got Vince over there. I thought it was vice versa.
No, because
I just heard the story the other day.
Vince went to college. But they played like AAU together, though.
Right.
On to the WNBA. Sun beat the Lynx. Tight game, 73-70. Mabry leads the way, had 20 points. Alyssa Thomas, DeWanna Bonner, as usual, fill up the stat sheet. And those three alone are going to make it tough on Minnesota. Nafisa Collier, who the other night we talked about, she had tied the WNBA playoff record with 42 points, was held to 19 on 7 for 16 shooting. They did have Bridget Carlton had a efficient night. She was 6 for 10, got 17 points. Ultimately, wasn't enough to beat the Sun. They've been great all year, so especially like this is a defensive squad. They got people that'll play both sides of the ball, can do everything. They're not 7-footers. They have tall women.
Brittany Griner.
Yeah, they pull out the W. They win game 1. The other game 1 in the semifinals was our Aces against D's Liberty. Asia, Kelsey, and Jackie all did their thing, you know what I mean? But that was it. And with the talent and the depth that the Liberty, who have been one of, if not the best team in the W all year, that's not going to get it done. And we've talked about the depth issues that the Aces have had all year, and that's something that they haven't remedied yet. And this is a bad time to try to fix it. Is in the
Right.
semifinals against a hungry team that has revenge on their mind from last year's finals. So especially with what Stewie and Sabrina combined for 55, 9, and 9. 34 of those were B Stews. Jonquel Jones had a double-double with 13 and 12. Like, they're going to need more.
Another student of the Mamba Academy, Sabrina. It's going to be dangerous to try to stop.
There's all this talk about, like, Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese being the Bird and Magic, and deservedly so, I guess, of the WNBA. But I hope this matchup is Lakers-Celtics. Like, if we get years and years of this Liberty and Aces matchup, I hope that just continues. And we get Breanna Stewart and Asia Wilson for years to come, and that kind of battle carries the league too. You know what I mean? I don't want that to be forgotten in all this hoopla. This kind of matchup that we could see many times throughout the next 5 to 10 years.
How old is Stewie now?
Let's see.
Hope she has a while left in the league.
Breanna Stewart.
But she could hoop with dudes. Stewie could give buckets to anybody.
Oh man, no question. She just turned 30.
Oh wow, okay, cool. I thought she was pushing like 34.
Asia Wilson's 28, so we could still have plenty of time with these. And then we can start worrying about the Sabrina versus Caitlin Clark matchups and things like that. And Paige Bucket's coming into the league soon, and Juju coming into the league soon. It's just
Shaq's daughter's gonna be in the league soon.
W's in a good place. And then you got to think this coming off season, I think in January or something like that, to start the year, be the first of that 3-on-3 that B. Stu and Fisa Collier and some of the other players are starting. So we'll have the 3-on-3 for the W as well.
Big shit popping.
Yeah, shoe news?
Shout out James Harden, man. Dropped volume 8 Hardens on the ASU squad. They all got those. That's the shoe that he wore last season. Cool little Adidas. Shout out ASU. Black with the gold is the colorway that I saw. And shout out Jordan, man. There's a lot of good releases coming up in 25, man. And just got him some new Jordan lows there. But yeah, I like what Jordan's doing. They're listening. They're looking to see what their sales are like when it comes to 3s, 4s, and 1s. They got a lot of those coming up. A lot of the SB style Jordan 4s and 3s. There's some dope shoes coming out, man.
Shout out Whatnot for the nothing but net 1 lows.
And how you gonna freak those?
I just have to wait and see. Yeah, I'm sure it'll be with some in my bag apparel. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
That already goes with the Red Pool and Wolverine shirt.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's dope. You could keep it simple with a white tee, black tee as well.
In my bag apparel tee, will probably.
Yeah, even gold. But yeah, man. Dope shoe. That's what I got up for sneakers this week.
Right, man. So I don't know if this is really this qualifies as Diddy news, but I saw some interesting thing as I was scrolling through the social medias the last few days. First thing that I saw was from Wait For It Tips. Said that Craig David, his song "Walking Away," remember that joint?
Sing it.
I'm walking away. What was it? That song?
Mm-hmm.
Actually about Diddy. A lot of people thought it was about a woman or something like that, but the post said that Craig David says he wrote, "Walking away was an irony of myself trying to let you know I was going to walk away from that life. I am not one of those persons, British, that will compromise and live a life of sleepless nights. I tried to tell y'all, but you all felt I was lust. I finally walked away, but you never asked why." That's allegedly what Craig David said. I don't know if this exactly came from him, but that's what this Instagram post said. What do you think about that?
By the way, the industry has shown me how nasty they are in the last year or so. I'm not surprised. If that's what it is, and the subliminals are in plain sight and everything like that, I'm not surprised. A lot of people do a lot of crazy shit for fame, and then they finally wake up in the midst of it, and they want to correct their wrongdoings, and aren't afraid to. Maybe they are afraid to speak on it, so they kind of do hide it in their music and whatnot, and then don't. You know, I don't know, man. I'm just not surprised, bro.
Craig David saying it wasn't hidden. He was telling y'all he's not fucking with this shit. I'm getting the fuck out of here. And then he did, and nobody thought anything of it. It's just like, what happened to Craig David?
He did bounce. We just thought he was blowing up in the UK and stayed out there. But yeah, he probably saw how nasty the industry was and almost got in too deep.
He went back to walk away. I also saw some stuff on J. Cole because there was a lot going around about She Knows the last couple of days. So Kev Tutox, that's the post I saw this one from, said that Rock Nation allegedly issued DMCA strikes, which are somewhat like a mix of copyright infringement and defamation, against on that song She Knows, to get it taken down after it went viral recently on a conspiracy TikTok that said that Jay-Z, Beyonce, and Diddy were all behind the murders of Aaliyah, Left Eye, and Michael Jackson. Then, however, I saw a post from Love Is Back 24 that informed people that other Cole songs, as well as songs from Adele, Kendrick, Bob Dylan, Nirvana, and a lot more, were removed from YouTube because they were unable to reach an equitable agreement with the Performing Rights Organization, CSAC, before their contract expired. So it wasn't about all these conspiracies, and there's a lot if you go down this rabbit hole. I went down it for like 10 minutes and saw a lot. There's a lot behind the song She Knows, depending on which rabbit hole you go down. But apparently this was just a legal thing. Legal issue, no big deal, no indications of anything. It just wasn't worked out.
Well, thank God. Speaking of Cole, bro, I had a Cole sighting, bro. He's on a new song with T Grizzly.
Not bad.
Not bad. Great song. But he's talking that shit like he the man.
I've learned from that song that I'm still cool with Cole. He's still one of my favorite rappers. I just can't listen to my Delete Later. I just can't do it. Like the new song I'm cool with. I'll bump that. That's not a problem. It's just Might Delete Later. It still leaves a sour taste in my mouth.
There's some shit on that album, bro. You definitely got some shit. I'm just waiting on the album.
I went cover to cover 5-6 times before he deleted it. So it was just, I don't know, it's weird. It doesn't sit right with me anymore. I've tried multiple times. You even made me try once.
Just stay away from it then, man. It's crazy.
I
wish he just didn't apologize the way he did. That's all.
Yeah, I don't know what I wish. It's just, I don't know. I don't like it. What'd you have on Kanye?
Kanye, Ye himself, Yeezus, if you will, did a concert in China recently, and they had stipulations. Kanye had stipulations that I read. I'm not sure if they're true, but it did say that the taxi drivers around the area had to be playing Kanye West, and also while he's in town, all Adidas stores had to be closed. That was the stipulations, and you best believe China followed suit. The concert looked dope, man. It looked like a big batch of hay in the middle of a big-ass arena. He did the Douchebag song. That's one of the only clips I saw, but he also announced that he'll be dropping an album called Bully. So we'll see how that goes.
He sold that mansion that he paid like 70-something million for, 50-something million for, like 56 million, I think. And then, like they gutted it to where it's basically just studs and frames and stuff for like 60% less than he bought it for. It's just like the worst house flip in history. that Calabasas mansion.
That's crazy. I believe he likes most of his houses empty as shit too.
Well, they gutted it after he moved out after the divorce and all that stuff, but it was built by this like super famed Japanese architect that came over, doesn't do a lot of jobs like this, and did the whole house. So he ended up paying that like 56 million or something like that for, sold it for 21 million. And I guess the people that bought the house are just gonna go back to how the original framework of the house was done. So they're gonna just put that additional 35 million or whatever they saved to just restore the house to its original form.
Because nobody wants to live in Wyoming.
Except Kanye. This is the Calabasas. This is the California mansion.
Oh, this is the mansion in Calabasas. Okay.
Heavy in Wyoming still.
Crazy. I actually cut one of the bodyguards that was driving him around out in Wyoming. It's nuts.
Nice. Bully of the week.
Might have to go to King Henry, bro. On the way he played today and the fantasy points that he gave me, I got to give it to that man for running his ass off for the Ravens today.
Fair enough. I'm going with Tom Brady. So I guess like last week or the week before, Baker Mayfield and some of the other Bucks were talking about how stressful it was in the locker room when Tom Brady was around, and how the guys are kind of relaxed now and they don't feel as stressed as they did when Tom Brady was there. To which the GOAT simply replied, "I thought it was stressful not winning Super Bowl rings." That's all he had to say about it.
Sound like Michael Jordan shit right there, bro.
Bully of the week, Tom Brady.
That sound like some Michael Jordan shit right there. Like when he's like, I just wanted him to win as bad as I did. And he got emotional. That's exactly what that reminds me of right there. Shout out Tom. I like him more now that he's retired.
I liked him more since he left New England. Since then, I've been a Tom Brady fan.
Yeah, once he could take the gloves off and be in Florida, yeah, he was chilling.
Right, trying to throw touchdowns with Super Bowl trophies and shit. I'm all for avocado tequila fucking.
Oh.
All about Tampa Tom and beyond. I still haven't got to catch a game with him calling it. I've heard some mixed reviews, to say the least.
Yeah.
He'll be fine.
He'll be fine. It's like,
because I heard that like he's in like the process of going into ownership for the NFL teams, and him going through this process, he can't go into locker rooms and talk to players and talks to teams like the rest of these announcers do to get insight on the game and learn more about it. So he has to stay away from all of that. I don't know if that's true, but that's what I heard, since he's an eventual and probable owner soon, that he's not allowed to cross those lines. So it makes it hard to do your full job as an announcer when you can't do all that stuff. But I don't know.
Oh, for sure. He's only going to be in this space for a little bit.
At least 10 years. He got a cool little check to do this shit. He'll be there for a minute. What else you got?
You think even if he's an owner, that's what he's going to be doing?
Well, he's just going to get some of that money back, I guess. Unless they let it work out like this. If this is how that's going already, just keep doing it this way.
Real shit. I just saw an L today, man, during the Broncos game, bro. The Broncos-Jets game. Broncos had a field goal to win it. They were already up 10-9. They were kicking the field goal to just end the game and missed it. Jets got the ball back, and what do? They kick a field goal. Missed it. Broncos win 10-9.
Where was the game at?
That was in New York.
In New York, okay. I heard like weather was a factor as well in this game.
Weather was a factor, but I mean, dealing with both of them teams, y'all better get it in shape because weather's just gonna get worse.
The only thing I really saw from this game was Aaron Rodgers on the bench shaking his head in disgust.
With the towel on his head.
Supposed to be that get back game because Hackett was there in Denver, taking the brunt of all the bullshit that happened with them when they first got Russell Wilson, and they were talking all that shit about him last season. But Aaron Rodgers wasn't able to play in that game because of the injury. So this was supposed to be the get back for Hackett and for Rodgers.
The Broncos defense looked good today, man. Aaron Rodgers was on his back a lot.
Well, good for them, man. Shout out to the Denver Broncos, man. Also, shout out to the CU Buffaloes.
Doing their fucking thing.
We didn't get to talk too much about last week's overtime win over Baylor, which was incredible. The throw, the Hail Mary by Shador, and the breakup, the fumble caused by by Travis Hunter. But this week, just beating the shit out of UCF.
Yeah.
I just saw Prime's on Nightcap tonight talking his shit. I always like listening to Prime talk. When they introduced him as arguably the greatest DB, he said, "Ain't nobody arguing. Ain't nobody arguing." I just love me some Prime. One of my favorite players ever, man. But shout out CU, shout out the Buffaloes and my Horns getting a win as well this week.
Hell yeah! Shout out CU. Were they 3-1?
Sir, 4-1.
Keep it rocking. Hell yeah! What a good Sunday for football, man. Good episode. No D to complete the 3-man weave, but we are here as always, and we will catch you on the next one. I am CB the Bully of Bully's Cousin Styles, CBDA Bully on Instagram. Here with EB of In My Bag Apparel. What's up?
I was just like, follow, subscribe.
Oh yeah, for sure. What's your Instagram? EB.
Still not that.
What is it?
In my _bag 2023.
In my _bag 2023.
So it'll be right around here somewhere too. So
please like, follow, subscribe on all major platforms, and we will catch you on the next one. Love and peace.
We the 3.
I just saw an L today, man, during the Broncos game, bro. The Broncos-Jets game. Broncos had the field goal to win it. They were already up 10-9. They were kicking the field goal to just end the game and missed it. Jets got the ball back, and what do? They kick a field goal. Missed it. Broncos win 10-9.
Where was the game at?
That was in New York.
New York. Okay, I heard like weather was a factor as well in this game.
Weather was a factor, but I mean, dealing with both them teams, y'all better get it in shape because weather's just gonna get worse.
The only thing I really saw from this game was Aaron Rodgers on the bench shaking his head in disgust
with the towel on his head.
Supposed to be that get back game because Hackett was there in Denver, taking the brunt of all the bullshit that happened with them when they first got Russell Wilson. And they were talking all that shit about him last season, but Aaron Rodgers wasn't able to play in that game because of the injury. So this was supposed to be the get back for Hackett and for Rodgers.
The Broncos defense looked good today, man. Aaron Rodgers was on his back a lot.
Well, good for them, man. Shout out to the Denver Broncos, man. Also, shout out to the CU Buffaloes.
Doing their fucking thing.
We didn't get to talk too much about last week's overtime win over Baylor, which was incredible. The throw, the Hail Mary by Shador, and the breakup, the fumble caused by Travis Hunter. But this week, just beating the shit out of UCF.
Yeah.
I just saw Prime's on Nightcap tonight talking his shit. I always like listening to Prime talk. When they introduced him as arguably the greatest DB, he said, "Ain't nobody arguing. Ain't nobody arguing." I just love me some Prime. One of my favorite players ever, man. But shout out CU, shout out the Buffaloes and my Horns getting a win as well this week.
Hell yeah! Shout out CU. Were they 3-1?
Sir, 4-1.
Keep it rocking. Hell yeah! What a good Sunday for football, man. Good episode. No D to complete the 3-man weave, but we are here as always, and we will catch you on the next one. I am CB the Bully of Bully's Cousin Styles, CBDA Bully on Instagram. Here with EB of In My Bag Apparel. What's up?
I was just like, follow, subscribe.
Oh yeah, for sure. What's your Instagram? EB.
Still not that.
What is it?
In my _bag 2023.
In my _bag 2023.
So it'll be right around here somewhere too. So
please like, follow, subscribe on all major platforms, and we will catch you on the next one. Love and peace.
We the 3.